Hi friends, kids, people who call me mother. It's been a while and I've deleted a few videos, but it's fine. So I started college! Hooray! Frankly, I think that I started off good, but I am exhausted. And that's most likely why I haven't been able to draw, do anything else, have a personality, have a life. But it is content, so I guess this is a journal diary thing of my first month in college. Now let's start with an introduction that I can actually use because I was going through something. Before everything started, I did sign up for a college orientation. The orientation being in real life with real people in real groups, that is quite literally what it's named, kinda. I didn't sign up for this to make friends or to do anything, I just needed to know where my rooms were. And really, my intentions were literally to just not make friends and not interact with anyone, just keep my life quiet and content. I was not in a good place, and I will never claim to be in a good place ever, but I somehow failed at not making friends. Hooray for friendship! At the orientation, I was dropped off by my mom, and I was conveniently placed into a group of weebs. I won a free water bottle, which I never touched again, but I did win something that is more precious, the treasure of friendship. After the orientation, we shared our socials and then we made a server. Then we toured around the school being absolute idiots, but now we know where our classes are, and that will start our journey into college. The first day of school, I was dropped off by my mother at 8:30. I have to stay at school till 6:30. I planned my schedule so I'd be at school for 10 hours. I then realized I'll never have a life or do any hobbies or anything at all, but like that's fine because education. So I started with my English class. I sit at the front of the room because no one else was sitting at the front of the room. It has the worst tables I've ever come into contact with. They're smaller than the ones that elementary school kids used. I waited there for a bit and I met my English teacher. She's very nice and she's very passionate about English, which makes everything so much easier. She proceeds to introduce herself and get to know everyone. She knows me by name now, which is good. And then proceeds to tell us that this course is harder than it should be and looks, and that we would start with passage analysis. For the most part, I am doing really good. Surprisingly, I've never really done this good in an English class ever. Once that class is over, I make sure I meet up with my friends to wait for 2 hours for my statistics class. I found that the cafeteria isn't that bad, and my only issue is that they have horrible Wi-Fi. Like, what if I want to text my mom? I can't keep on signing into it all the time. I have good friends. I like them a lot. They're cool. Then comes time for statistics class. I got lost at first, but obviously, since I'm very prepared, I go ahead of time so that I can be lost beforehand. I found it obviously, and then I waited outside with the other group of people who were also waiting outside, and my teacher, because there was a class before us, and she was just kind of there. I go in the class, and I've never been so stressed in my life. I was good at math before, but I'm not anymore. And statistics is a new ball, a new field. I am not good at it. It is necessary to take for nursing, and so I have to take it, so I don't have to take psychology and have a minimum of an A grade to get into the nursing program. Excuse me! I struggled to understand the teacher, but at the end of the day, I was relieved because I didn't have any homework. I proceeded to go back to the cafeteria because all my friends were there. Well, not all of them, some of them went home, and we just chilled. I believe I remember us exploring the campus because not all the buildings we checked beforehand. We wanted to check the student union building to see if they had boba because I was told that they had boba and I wanted boba. But then they lied. There was no good boba. Like, sure, it existed, but it wasn't like a chain of boba. It would be just like them putting pearls into the stupid tea stuff and like Chat time's like a 10-minute walk away. Why wouldn't I go there? Biology class starts, and I'm faced with a thing that's actually difficult: education. I was never good at biology. I never claimed to be good at biology. I never claimed to be good at biochemistry. But I'm in it because I want to help people in the future get healthier. And for the most part, I should be learning this all. But the class is harder than I thought. We went over the course outline and we started our first lecture. Oh, to be young and naive and never to know how difficult college was. Oh my god, I miss high school so much. The innocence I had was once gone, and the husk I was now remained full of information that I would soon forget, as information is water and I am a bucket with holes. Never have I ever felt the dread of this, as it was only the first day, and I was overwhelmed. And having said that, we went for the first lesson. We went through the first entire chapter of the book, which means soon I would have a quiz! Yay! This being obvious sarcasm, I was exhausted, and I went home on the bus and slept. I slept so well. My mattress felt like a cloud. The pressure of 10 hours worth of staying in a building that would eventually give me a degree for $1,000, hopefully, was now lifted off of my shoulders. Temporarily. That was until the next day. After work, I went to school for my lab, where I was given a mugshot in the worst outfit I could think of. I just went through my day. I completed it, kind of, maybe a little. I still have the booklet. Is it finished? I have no idea. I don't remember. It's a fever dream. All I could really remember is that I came into college an innocent and not happy, and after processing 10 hours and also 2 hours of another day, a tired, grown adult woman ready to get out of the place. Now, you see, I won't be explaining my friends too much because that's going to be causing me trouble in the future. But meet my new friends, which I will vaguely explain using nicknames because I don't want to use their real name. I'm going to call my first friend Big 2. We met at orientation. I played Minecraft with him the day before school. And we played Bed Wars, and I was amazing at it. Gonna call the second one Minkro because I think that's how you pronounce it. He's very polite and a poli-sci major, which is very nice and refreshing to see. Third one, I'm gonna also call him by, usernames. Guido. He knew Big 2 beforehand somehow, but yeah, he's also nice. Fourth one, Mother. I'm calling her Mother. She didn't even adopt me. I just see her as my mother now because she's an architect and good at statistics and helped me. Lastly, there's G. I'm gonna call him G because, yeah, he was our tour guide during orientation and he had really cool shoes that stuck in my mind. He's really nice and he's really cool and he's really good at games, and I don't know how because he won MVP the first time he's ever touched the game. He's Japanese and he was once in an anime club for the school, which eventually shut down since the members all transferred out. Which eventually leads me to the anime club arc. We're starting an anime club in a college where... See, I'm not disappointed in myself. I knew this would happen eventually. And we're gonna use it as a cosplay group, Or a group for conventions. That'd be cool, right? Right? I'm not going crazy, right? Yeah, we started an anime club. Well, technically it's not a club yet. It's going to be certified eventually. All I can say is that I turned the school's mascot into a anime girl, and I am not entirely proud of it, but everyone loves it, and I will soon capitalize off of it, which I will always appreciate and encourage. First week, I did a lot of work. We started off with reading paragraphs. We started off with the math, and I dislike it. I so hate it. I hate statistics. Bio is somewhat okay, though. until I do tests, but like the teacher is more tolerable. I can handle her. My favorite parts of the day are really my breaks that I have so I can talk to people. I love socialization and communication with others. It is very fun. I still struggled with the Wi-Fi though, and I kept using the main one where everyone was at because no one else checks their emails, and that includes me. I would have gotten the better Wi-Fi sooner. You'll hear that story later. I then met two more people in my English class. They were really chill. I don't know how to call them yet because I haven't established a very online personality for them. But I love them because they're cool and fresh. I struggled. I really did, but I was working harder than ever. My kid, I'm gonna call him Zippy because I used to put him in the videos, but he noticed that I was doing a lot more work than I used to. And honestly, I was very proud of the things I did, even if I failed some assignments already. My ideology now is never blame the teachers. They've done this for many years. Blame myself, because I'm not good enough for the course. My better times were most likely with my friends when I'd help out and hang out with them. One day, G asked to go to Boba, and everyone else came, so we went, and I had a fun time. I drank the boba so fast, and everyone was surprised. I don't know why. I have the stomach and the mouth, so my consumption rate is much higher and faster than other people's. Next few weeks, and I realized I absolutely struggle. I struggle in math, as in statistics, and I struggle in biology, mainly for memorization, but not for functions. I am perfectly fine at that. The issue is that you need to associate your functions with the names of biological terms, and as you see, I am not good at that. But luckily, the first few lessons are things that I went through in high school. It made it a lot easier to understand and process what some things were, but honestly, oh my gosh. Sometimes, no matter how hard I try, everything will be a bit more difficult for me, which is why I usually study a long time beforehand, or I don't and I get a bad mark. I have gotten boba after school just so that I can hang out with other people, but also so I can have a drink and cool off. I absolutely cannot handle myself right now. I'd say my hardest time was within the past week. Well, not really week, within the past 2 weeks, where we started getting more examination. In English, we were tasked to do a passage analysis, but we had an open book thing. Despite that, I know my history and I know that I am not good at English, and according to my standards, I do not consider myself good enough for most grades. I want to aim very high in the class, so I must get very good. The goal I want to reach is to become a nurse, and it's hard to become a nurse when your grades are not 2 tier. So I studied all weekend. I did so many notes. I also had to study for a biology quiz and a statistics quiz. In fact, as I record this, I have to be studying for exams, two of them actually, and one lab exam, which is worth basically 50% of my mark. Nonetheless, I studied my butt off, and surprisingly, oh wait, a surprise! English is so much easier in college! What? It might be the intense conditioning of my high school to do good in English classes in college, but oh my gosh, I finished a 2 hour long assignment in a good 1 hour? What? And everything was so clear and good, and I didn't have to worry about how bad I was. I felt so confident. I don't even have the marks yet. But oh my gosh, I was so happy at the end because I knew I did good on it. I knew that all my work had paid off, and that since I had a hard time in high school, that I was going to do good. I felt pure bliss, and like the energy I had radiated off of me, and I could sense it everywhere in the air. That is until I did my statistics test, and I didn't do good because I know it, and I could feel it, and I didn't finish it because it was difficult. I was given 30 minutes and I didn't finish 6 questions. What the heck? I was given a cheat sheet. I studied all weekend. I did the best I could, but it wasn't enough. I didn't understand the terms on it. I couldn't bear myself afterwards. And then we proceeded with another lecture. What was I to do? I sat at my chair defeated for a good 2 hours or 1 hour after my quiz. I then left to the cafeteria and sat there in shock. It was so horrible. I didn't want to exist. Merely there just to decompose as I wait for my next class. Then G came. Man pulled through, making me happy because he was there and he made me feel better. Thank you. I don't know if he'll ever listen to this, but thank you. I was not prepared for my biology class, nor did I want to be. The statistics test really drained me of my life. I knew that school would be hard, but I didn't realize how hard it would be. Like, I studied so hard. All of it. All of it. I looked through the textbooks. I looked online. I looked through the literal guide of the entire syllabus. I looked through Quizlets of previous years. And nonetheless, I absolutely failed that test. G, obviously there to comfort me, really reassured me and helped me feel better so I wouldn't literally start crying. See, if I speak in an enthusiastic voice, no one will ever know when I'm actually hurting. Then soon after, the biology class came, and oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Ain't nobody ready. I wasn't ready. I did horrible, obviously. I mean, I didn't fail. You could see on my face after the quiz. I was merely content with the 50 I'd gotten, or at least what I think I've gotten. I would then be warned of the midterm coming up soon. I was not ready, obviously, because I don't even know what's on a midterm in college. What even the heck is that? Luckily, I also met a few more Filipinos who were also going into nursing. God bless! I have yet to even speak about the bus. Oh, it is horrible. See, you wait at the bus stop with like 50 other kids hoping that you'll get on, and then the bus leaves you at the bus stop taking like what? Everyone but you? But luckily, that day, G decided, you know what, I'm gonna go and find Vina, and then he scared me. I almost had a heart attack, but it was fine. Because if I have someone who's there with me, I can pass out on the bus, or sleep on the bus, or find a seat, at least because I know if I'm by myself, I would not be confident enough to. And my 5'3" Filipino body cannot reach some of the handles, so I really gotta go close to too many people, and you know what's happening right now. You know you know what's happening. Look at old Corona. And I do hate the bus for that reason, but parking at the school is $7 every single day, and sadly, my paycheck might not be able to handle that. Actually, it will be able to handle that, my parents won't. So what can you pull from my experience? What is the lesson that can be learned from the first month of my college experience? Number 1, don't take your studies lightly. It's a lot faster and a lot harder than you think. The rate that we went in high school was not fast enough for college. And at least in high school, you were there every single day. And for the most part, you don't even know half the names of the classmates that you have. I kid you not. And that is fine depending on how you want to learn, but for me, I do need people. Whether it be for homework or like helping each other with our stress or just panicking together, it is good for you. Number 2, if given the choice, please use your parents' money for college. They probably have a fund, or if they don't, just like let them pay for it. It's fine. You don't need that independence. You're just an 18-year-old or 19-year-old or whatever. You barely pay taxes, so let your parents pay it for you. Number 3, no matter how good you're doing in your class before the tests, You have to study so hard for your tests. Once there is something that you don't expect, it will kill you and you will die. And just study. Just study. Number 4, please thank your high school teachers if they did actually help you in something. I personally did find that I was helped by a lot of the things the teachers in high school did put me through, and that they got to know your name and got invested into your schooling sometimes. So please, if they did help you, just give them a gift on Christmas. It's not like you go to the school anymore. It won't be like a leverage for grades, you know. Number 5, you will miss high school no matter what. I absolutely miss the environment that I used to be in because of how friendly and easy it was compared to college. There's not really much of a community as I did have in high school. I also miss the homework load that I used to have. It was quite literally nothing other than like whatever was on Google Classroom that night, which I finished that night. It was easy. Number 6, please God, make sure your grades are good for college. I honestly wish that I've done better in high school, whether it be my study habits or my grades itself. I believe that if I did do better, I would have aimed higher. And I would have gotten into so much more and I would have applied to so much more because back then I did not have much confidence in myself. I did not see a future where I was in a university or college in which I did get into. I did not believe that I could have went into a post-secondary because of how bad my grades were and the field that I wanted to go into. If I could tell myself that in the past, I would have had it tattooed on my forehead so I can always look at it, constantly remind myself. And I guess that's all I'd have to say, honestly. College has taught me a lot about myself, and I now know what I want and how I want to do stuff in the future. In the future, I want to be a nurse in the children's hospital, and I want to constantly play games and have fun in the way that I consider things fun. I also know that I need a way to express myself more. I need a way to de-stress and play games for, work. I've also learned through my work that I love hanging out and being a mentor to children. I want them to be better than me in the future. My goal is to get into the nursing program and to get this channel off and running. I plan to hopefully keep this channel consistent and hopefully do whatever I want. I want this to be part of my memory and part of my legacy. And that was the end of my first month and the start of my new life. Thanks for watching. I'll see you eventually.